It's the Tea with Charles podcast, where everyone is a celebrity.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Tea with Charles podcast. This week I'm taking you to my hometown of Kansas City, Missouri, where we'll talk to female drag performer Dirty Dorothy. I'm going to ask her about her performance background, what Kansas City barbecue she loves best, and then we'll do some reenactments of some famous quotes from The Wizard of Oz for your entertainment. It's a hilarious episode, so let's get right into it.
Pour yourself some tea, and let's dive into these hot topics.
Let's welcome to the Tea with Charles podcast, Dirty Dorothy!
Hi, Charles. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for showing up to my podcast.
Heck yeah. It's very potty and very casty.
We're at recording studio in Kansas City, Missouri, my hometown. Are you from the Kansas City area?
Funny thing, I'm actually from Kansas City, Kansas. So Dirty Dorothy is from Kansas originally. So born and raised.
Born and raised?
Yes. And fun fact, my grandma's name was Dorothy.
So your grandma's name was Dorothy. You're from KCK.
Yes, ma'am.
And did you do, people involved in drag, they often do, they're makeup artist or they're in theater growing up. Were you involved in community theater or high school theater?
I definitely was a theater type kid. I went to Bonner Springs High School and they didn't really have a theater department at the time. They did 2 plays a year, so I did those, but we also had mock trial. And so I was always the star witness. And that's how I really became in love with that kind of interactive improv type of acting. I was the witnesses.
You're the witness.
Yes, absolutely. Can I get a witness? That was me. So I would be whatever the trial they were trying. I was either the defendant or the plaintiff, or just a character witness.
Well, at least that's good being the witness. At least you won't have to go to jail or something.
Yeah, exactly. And then, of course, it escalated into, community theater, and then started doing professional theater. Yeah.
That is awesome. Were you ever because Kansas City's got some pretty nice professional theaters like Starlight Theater or anything like that?
Yeah, I've done pretty much all the ones that are still here, like the Unicorn and the Coterie and TYA and all that good jazz. Yeah, I super love children's theater because kids will just go crazy with you. No matter what kind of wild-ass show you're doing, these kids will be like, yeah, I'm totally with you, Junie B. Jones. Get crazy.
That's quite a contrast to your other character that you're famous for. You probably cannot perform Dirty Dorothy.
Absolutely not. It is an adult show. It is not for children. Don't bring your children unless I happen to be in an all-ages venue. Because I can make some pretty fabulous adult jokes that go right over children's head, and they don't even know I said something bad.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
That is hilarious. So I'm really curious about the origins of the Dirty Dorothy character. How did Dirty Dorothy come to be?
I'll try to boil that down. I had to understudy the role of Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz a couple of times, not just once, but a couple of times. And both times I was beat by a tall redhead with a lateral lisp like Judy Garland. They sounded like Judy Garland. And I was like, seriously, I could have just impersonated Judy Garland. But it kind of evolved from there, where I would then talk to them in the voice, and, they were my friends.
Right.
And it just kind of became a funny thing. But then at parties, that turns into like a party trick. So we would start to play this thing called Questions from Oz. So you ask anything about my trip to Oz and I answer. And so, her voice is very beautiful. It's like, and you were there, and oh, but you couldn't have been. Oh, but you were, Anagram, and it's a real live place. But it's funnier if she's like, and then he was a cocksucking asshole. So that's how it kind of escalated. And then Late Night Theater, which is Kansas City's premier drag theater company, I would be in the backstage while they were getting dressed, and we would play Questions from Oz. And then from there, at Bar Natasha, which was a piano bar down the street from Tootsie's. Girl, I know you remember Tootsie's, okay?
I've been to Tootsie's.
So Bar Natasha was a piano bar, and they were going to do a live singing drag show with, the piano. And they needed a host. And so Missy Kuntz, the owner, she was like, wrestler, you got to put a costume on your little character. And so, it makes sense with gay icon character. And so that's the first time that she was costumed and actually performing on a stage. So it was a live singing drag queens show. Yeah.
Actual singing.
Actual singing. Yes. Daisy Bouquet was born out of that. Harlow, Paige Turner, a few little gals like that from around Kansas City.
Kansas City. Well, can I ask Dorothy a couple questions?
Oh, God, yeah. Let's play Questions from Oz.
Questions from Oz. So, fuck, marry, kill. Scarecrow, Cowardly Lion, Tin Man.
That's a very good question. And let me think about that. I guess if I was going to fuck one of them, it's definitely going to be the Tin Man, and I think that's pretty obvious from his face. If I was going to marry one, that's going to be... That's going to be the Cowardly Lion, because I like to be the boss. And if I was just going to kill one, well, it would be the Scarecrow, because I can't really kill him because he's made out of straw.
Those are some perfect answers. Let's try one more.
Yeah.
All right, so...
Questions from Oz.
Questions from Oz, part 2. So after you killed the Wicked Witch of the West, what happened to her melted body?
All I've got to say is, slippery when wet.
How far back are we talking this Bar Natasha era?
Oh, gosh. I don't know. Let's see. Oh, Lord. I just went by my age. So that, like 16-ish years? Probably 16, 17 years ago?
16,
Yeah.
17, so early 2000s?
Yeah, good God. Uh-huh. Wow.
So
Yeah.
you're at Bar Natasha, and from that, the Dirty Dorothy character springboarded through all of
Yeah.
Kansas City.
Yeah, definitely. I took a little break and went to school for aesthetics. So I'm legally licensed in the state of Missouri to tell you whether you look good or not. No, to clean out your pores. That's what I'm licensed to do. But I took a break to go to school, and then Daisy Bouquet actually had a show at Sidekicks, and it was called The Madness Show. And she got hired with the Kinsey Six, which is the nation's favorite dragapella lives. I don't know. They're a cappella. They're drag queens. Dragapella.
Dragapella?
They were featured on the RuPaul once in the finale. Did a little singing. But they're very funny. But they hired Daisy, and so she was going to be gone. So she brought me back and had me start hosting that show. And from there was boom, like everywhere.
Boom, everywhere. Because I know you had a long tenure at good old Missy B's.
At good old Missy B's. Good Missy B's. Good times, good friends. That's the motto. Yeah, I was there 12 years.
Wow.
Straight.
Because that's where I knew you from. And just a funny note about Missy B's. I remember growing up in Kansas City, the first gay bars I was sneaking into.
Oh, yeah.
Was like the Cabaret, the Dixie Belle. And like Missy B's was like...
It was like a teeny little piano bar at that point, wasn't it?
Right.
It was like tiny, wasn't it?
But they had these super cheap drinks. So my friends would drag me there. And I was like... And then at some point, because of the internet, all of the gay bars closed and Missy B's was the last place standing, basically.
Ah, that's before my time. Missy B's, just from what I know, just kept expanding.
Right.
And that, like, there was a hairdresser or something where the dance floor is now, and they took that area over. So then the basement, like, right? Is that how it went? It was just the other little tiny spot, and then it was the full basement, and then they took over the upstairs too, and now it is what it is.
Yeah, because
massive.
Once all their competition folded, they expanded, and it became like the biggest gay bar in Kansas City.
Got it. Yes.
I know they do drag nights several nights a week, and sometimes they'll host the RuPaul girls coming through town, and you were the program director there.
Yes, I was for 12 years, right up until the Panera. I quit and stepped down July of the Panera 2020.
We were all going through it, girl.
Everybody was going through it. But my partner has only one lobe of lung on each side because she had lung cancer for 20 years. She is cancer-free now, so yay. Everything's perfect. She's very healthy. But with, the nature of the big Panera, I was not going to be able to be in a bar and bring those type of, she could not get that back in 2020. That was like end game. So it was like, okay, I'm going to step it down. let somebody else take over, pass that baton, and just wait it out. And now I'm back to free agent. So now I'm popping up everywhere.
Popping up everywhere. Because I've got to think that being a program director for a bunch of drag queens must be like trying to herd a bunch of cats.
It is. If the cats were trying to tuck their balls and dicks into pantyhose, then that is exactly what it's like.
Because, like, what are some of the challenges you had as a program director for a drag bar?
Do you know, honestly, because of the way the transition all happened and everything, I had really wonderful people around me for so long that challenges are just people's schedules, which that's going to be in any kind of management scheduling job is, filling that in. But probably trying to think. Well, alcohol.
I've always thought, people that work and make their living in a club environment, the boundary between work and recreation can get kind of blurry.
That is definitely, I would say, a real thing for young drag performers to kind of find their line. And Lord knows that I have blurred that line many, many years. But I've never fallen down, so that's okay.
That's good. I do have to tell you one personal story from Missy B's that you were performing at.
Oh, God.
And I was in Kansas City because my grandmother had just passed away.
Oh.
And it was about, I guess, 3 or 4 days after the funeral. And I went to see her show at Missy B's. And it was like the first big laugh I had since my grandmother had passed.
Aww.
And I was just like, that just made me recognize what a great performer you were and just, what value this entertainment has in people's lives.
Oh, thank you so much for sharing that. That's what I love so much about it is the point is to perform to your audience and you're lifting the weight of the world off their shoulders for, in my case, because I'm a comedian, 3 seconds at a time. A 3-second laugh. Oh my God, they forgot whatever was troubling them at the moment or, or the state of the world, or they forgot whatever it was they forgot and they had a moment of just unabashed joy. And that's completely what fills my cup with it.
You're so good at it. So
thank you.
I'm glad that you're back on the scene and
yes, I am back.
Entertaining the people of Kansas City. I guess people are probably wondering, because there's all these terms thrown about there, bio queen, AFAB queen. How would you describe your own drag?
Well, I started before those words were around. And I think because of the way I started, I always thought I just had this icon, Dorothy and Judy Garland, is such an iconic part of gay everything, just gayness.
Yeah.
The Judy Garland, Friends of Dorothy, all that good, mojo wrapped up into one bag. So I always thought I just had a little iconic character that I was just kind of elevating and just putting a little twist on. And so I always just called myself a drag performer, but I didn't necessarily call myself a drag queen and definitely not AFAB or bio queen. I think they work a lot harder than I do at their makeup. No, seriously.
Performing as this elevated version of the Judy Garland character, was there anything that you learned about your own gender expression?
I definitely because what I do is just kind of hoist my tits up to my chin and hypersexualize myself, but also through this way that's there's an air of innocence to it. And so it was definitely a big deep dive into that.
How scandalous. I'm clutching my pearls.
The idea of having a drag performer that is born female.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder did you ever encounter any resistance from like the old guard that didn't quite get it?
Oh my gosh, Charles, that is so crazy. I have never heard of a female having a problem being the boss of a bunch of men. Oh my effing God, of course I did. Oh, the old guard freaking hated me. Are you kidding, girl? Yes. No, I had a lot of snide bullshit in the very first moment. And so I was like, well, I can either get my feelings hurt or I can pull my balls out and we can have a competition. So like, let's all just play nice and get in the same lane. And I think once they saw that, oh, she's just cool. She's, making this fun and it's a great, and no, she's not trying to, she's trying to elevate all of us. she's trying to showcase everybody and make more spaces at the table, then I think that was when they started being nicer. But no, definitely. I mean, yeah.
Because some of them queens, we're
my
not going to name
God.
any names.
No.
But
Yeah. No. Salty, 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 bitter, bitter old queens. Yes. But then they all came around and stopped hating me. Or at least they stopped hating me to my face. They probably do still hate me, but that's fine.
They don't hate.
Nobody hates me.
Nobody hates Dirty Dorothy.
No, because I'm all sugar, spice, and everything nice with a side of Fireball and Jaeger.
Yeah, as long as you keep serving the shots, people will be okay.
Exactly, yeah.
I have read that in addition to drag, you had another career doing real estate.
Yes, I am a real estate agent here in Kansas City. I'm licensed in Kansas and Missouri. I can sell your house. I can find you a house to buy.
Wow.
All of it. I love it. I find that it's kind of a crossover. It's that same thing. I get obsessed with my clients' goals, whatever their goal that they've got to hit. I'm just like, we have to do this. However we can do it, we've got to make them meet this goal. So it's kind of that same thing where I'm a people person.
So where's the hottest market in Kansas City right now?
Kansas City.
What neighborhood is blowing up that everybody needs to cash in on now?
Oh, the one like before. Get into the Northeast, get into Ivanhoe, get into just thinking like if you want to be like on the cusp of. But the Northeast is so cool. It was an area that was just, generational families all lived together. And then as they would pass on, either the younger generations didn't want the houses. And so those are starting to sell. So now it's flipping, and it's also one of the most affordable areas in the city. So that's where a lot of young people and artists are going too. So you have this mixed bag of like super old grandmas who have lived in that house since it was built to, this young hipster, non-binary kid who's an artist and also a drag queen and also, all that good stuff. It's really fun. I really like the Northeast myself.
So Northeast and Ivanhoe, if you're looking for a house in Kansas City, you heard it
Ivanhoe
first.
is the super secret. Get on in there.
Girl,
it's right past Squire Park.
I'm going to be putting the hoe in Ivanhoe. All right?
Putting a hoe in Ivanhoe.
Yes, exactly. So you heard it here first on the Tea with Charles podcast. You're getting real estate. Ivanhoe and Northeast.
Call Jessica.
Call Jessica, a.k.a. Dirty Dorothy. All right, what's the worst day job you've ever had?
I have had a lot of day jobs over the years. Hands down. Graveyard shift at Norm's Cafe in Los Angeles. Worst. Very worst. But it was graveyard shift, and I learned I don't like graveyard shift. Oddly enough.
What kind of creatures of the night did you see?
Oh my God, the drunkest, the highest, the drunkest.
The sloppiest.
Oh, absolutely. Crazy. It was crazy. It was so crazy.
You were well prepared then once you got to Missy B's.
Yeah, actually.
You're like, this is child's play.
Oh, yeah, totally. I was like, this is nothing.
Moving right along, I know Kansas City has spawned 2 contestants.
Hells yeah.
On RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yes, we have.
Miss Widow Von Du.
Yes, ma'am.
And Mo Hart.
Yes, baby.
How has it been to see your, well, not real drag children, but, associates gone on to this success?
Yeah. Oh, my God. It's been phenomenal. I mean, like, Mo, oh, my gosh. I remember when she was deciding whether to change her name from Monique Hart to something totally different. And, like, I mean, when she was this baby drag. And then Widow, I was the very first person to get to hire Widow when she turned 21. I judged her in a pageant when she was 17 at this youth group that's called Passages. And I was like, oh, my God, you're phenomenal. And I told her, I said, when you're 21, come to Missy B's on your 21st birthday and you're hired. And she came in, and I literally put her onto the stage right then. And that was her first number.
So
I was like, boom, done.
Widow Von Du, you knew was a star from the moment you...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And Monique as well. Mo's, I mean, I can't call her Mo. I got to call her Monique.
Monique.
But yeah. Yeah. No, they're phenomenal. Kansas City has, like, we're super understated, but Kansas City has got sick drag. So much drag in Kansas City is absolutely nation worthy. Like, hands down.
Because not every city's had 2 people go on so far.
Yes. And I think that's just the beginning. Have you seen some of these kids?
Yeah,
They're phenomenal.
They're watching the tutorials from when they're young and just could show up and beat mug and
Yeah. But the the dancing, the creativity. Oh my gosh, we have so many. And I think it's also because Kansas City has such a really cool underground art scene that we have got some of the coolest art kid drag as well. In addition to your, dancing moves and high kicks, jump splits,
death drop.
everything. Then you also have these like high horror, crazy drag number, and then the monster drag like Cynthia Doll, and they're all just fabulous.
Yeah,
I need her to get on Dragula.
Dragula. What's the name of the queen?
Cynthia Doll.
Cynthia Doll.
Yeah, she needs to get on the Dragula.
Possibly on Dragula.
Well, I'm just manifesting that.
Manifesting.
For her.
We're secret.
Hey, Boulay Brothers, if you're listening, Dirty Dorothy would like Cynthia Doll to get on Dragula season, whatever the next number you're filming right now is.
Yes,
I'm excited for Titans though.
Titans.
It's going to be amazing.
What's Titans?
That's going to be Dragula's next show that's coming out. Is it Titans?
Is it like an All Stars?
I'm guessing. I think it is. They haven't really announced the people that are going to be on it yet, but I'm just assuming based off that title that it's going to be an All Stars.
An All Stars. Speaking of All Stars, what did you think of Jinx Monsoon's?
I'm in love with Jinx Monsoon.
Okay.
Jinx Monsoon is now my drag wife. She does not know this, but she is my drag wife because I think we would make some really beautiful duet babies.
Her Snatch Game performance of Judy Garland
was epic.
That won the season for her.
Oh my God, hands down.
I was like,
totally agree.
As soon as she grabbed the microphone and started singing, "Don't Be Jealous of My Boogie" in Judy's voice.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, that was Chef's Kiss.
Chef's Kiss.
Chef's Kiss.
So
Don't even have words.
So you weren't watching being like, that's not how you do Judy.
No. I was watching with full appreciation.
That was.
I thought she was epic.
She was indeed epic.
And the funny thing is, I never ever watched an episode of Drag Race ever once until Monique got on a season. And
really?
I was like, yeah, had never seen an episode. Then I was like, well, I got to watch Monique. And I started watching. I was like, oh, I totally see why this is a thing. It's so clever. Yeah, I love it. It's so fun.
And now Monique's been on like 3 seasons.
She's been on like a lot.
Her original season, All Stars, and she did UK versus the World.
So. Oh, yeah. Momo just
Miss
out
Mo,
there killing it.
Out there, brown cow, stunning.
Good luck, and may the odds be ever in your favor.
If we go to the Dirty Dorothy show, what are a couple of songs that you might do for us?
Well, I'm switching it up a lot lately, but a couple of staples from the past were Eye of the Twister. So like Eye of the Tiger, but Eye of the Twister. And Redneck Lesbo instead of Redneck Woman's Redneck Lesbo. Yeah, I like to do a little tongue-in-cheek. Like to do a little something different so that I look at myself as like the palate cleanser between drag queens.
Right. Redneck Lesbos.
Uh-huh.
Am I even allowed to say that?
I know, yeah. Heck yeah.
Heck yeah. Oh my goodness. So you definitely need to, I'll be checking Spotify later for.
Oh, I'm positive somebody has recorded it somewhere, but not mine.
So those are some songs we might hear you doing, but working in nightlife all this time, you must be sick as hell of certain songs, right?
I get sick of whatever the current like bop on the radio is. And at first you love it and you're like, oh my God, this energy is so great. And then you hear it and then every single queen you're doing or every single queen is doing it. And if you're doing multiple nights a week, then, you're hearing it so much that it's like, that's usually what I get sick of. It's like, oh my God, if I ever have to hear Rolling in the Deep one more time.
Oh, that's
But I
be
do
hard.
love Adele, so.
We do love Adele.
Yeah, love Adele. But I did that song. Woo!
Was there a moment for a minute where you like, if I hear applause by Lady Gaga one more time?
Yes. No, that one, you know what? That one didn't get played out, oddly enough.
Really?
I know, because that's a gimme.
That's a gimme. Right? I think in West Hollywood, since I was living in LA for a few years before this, a lot of the Ariana Grande songs.
Oh, yeah.
Because she's been having her moment.
Mm-hmm.
But I could see when No More Tears or something would start to play, I would see the look in the bartender's eyes. They would start to
They were like,
up.
they're like, I'm so desensitized now. Yeah, no, I like happy music, so I really don't get burnt out unless it's like, when you have like a mega hit that every single person wants to perform.
Okay, I've got a really important, serious question to ask you.
Okay.
If you were in the movie Showgirls,
Yes.
would you be a girl that works at the Goddess or at the Cheetah?
I would not work at either because I would own them both.
Oh, girl boss.
Yes. Girl boss.
Girl boss energy. You would just have those girls out there making money.
Heck yeah. And I'd be like, keep that rivalry going. Get some excitement going on.
Get some excitement going. Just give me
I'm making my money both sides.
Just give me my cut, girl. Give me my cut. All right. So we are in Kansas City. And across the world, people think Kansas City, they think barbecue.
Yes.
What is the Dirty Dorothy approved barbecue of choice?
Gates.
I
love it. But I love all of our barbecue. I do love, I love Jack Stack. I love Casey barbecue. I love Gates. I love Wyandotte barbecue. I just don't like, I didn't know this, but I don't like East Coast barbecue.
What? What's wrong with that?
I don't know. It just does not seem like barbecue to me.
So if I go to Gates this afternoon,
yes.
What should I eat? What am I getting?
Oh my God, ribs. Get a slab of ribs.
Get some ribs?
Get some ribs. Yum.
Very fun. Well, I'm going to go put some DoorDash for Gates right now, and we're going to come back with Dirty Dorothy in just a second.
I like this show right here, Charles. Tea with Charles. I like it.
Here we are, Tea with Charles podcast with the one and only Dirty Dorothy.
Hey, Charles.
Hey, Dorothy. So, obviously we have the Wizard of Oz theme going. So now we are going to reenact famous quotes from the Wizard of Oz.
Ooh.
As you see here on my very expensive prop table that I just copied at Kinko's. Come on, budget.
Yes.
All right, so just grab a quote there, and then I want to hear the Dirty Dorothy rendition of it.
Okay.
Are you a good witch or a bad witch?
Dorothy should have known. She was a bad witch.
Oh, my God.
She was such a cunt.
She really was. You could have just told her right then.
She's trying to kill Dorothy, take her shoes.
Oh, no, Glinda asked her, didn't it? Yeah. So it's
Glinda.
Oh, my God, we just fucked that up. That's hilarious. Hold on, let's do it. Then it's like this. Are you a good witch or a bad witch?
I'm not a witch at all.
That's how it goes. Oh, my God, T. Charles, that was hilarious.
All right.
Okay, so, Charles, you do one.
Let's find something here.
Charles in charge of our days.
Oh, just what I wanted
nights.
to do. Speaking of the bad witch.
Let's hear it.
I'm melting. Oh, what a world, what a world. Who would have thought a good little girl like you could destroy my beautiful wickedness? Oh, look out. I'm going.
He literally melted for you guys. I know you can't see that, but he just did it.
This is called method acting.
Yeah. Oh, it shows. Okay.
Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain.
The wizard.
The wizard was so full of shit.
He was the bastard of the play.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
He's just leading them on.
Sent a little kid and a tin man and a cat.
Can't even get a hot air balloon to work.
Yeah.
You've no power here. Be gone before somebody drops a house on you too.
Oh, you got a little sass in your walk when you, I can see that
So-
queen coming out.
Is it Glinda?
Yep. Okay, I've got one.
For 23 years, I've been dying to tell you what I thought of you, and now, well, being a Christian woman, I can't say it.
And
Auntie Eb. What do you think she wanted to say to the old bat there?
I think she wanted to say,
Pull the cobwebs out of your twat and go get fucked, you old bitch.
that's what I think.
Yeah, she needed
Something like that. She needed something.
She needed a new vibrator or something.
I don't know. She needed a lady friend. Is what she needed.
She needed to leave Dorothy the fuck alone and find a lady friend.
Yeah, because Miss Elmira Gulch on that bike, you can't tell me that was some pent up lesbian energy.
I think just a little. All right, let's have it. Oh, I keep getting the witch. What's the world trying to tell me?
I don't know.
I'll get you, my pretty. And your little dog, too.
Oh my God.
Come on, voice acting.
Yes. We're about to get a lot of voiceovers from this.
You've always had the power, my dear. You just had to learn it for yourself.
That's the bitch of the play, actually, more, is Glenda. It's like, Glenda,
We've been walking around Oz this whole
you
fucking
could
time.
have told her when she landed.
Back in Munchkinland.
I mean, you sent this kid out, like, by herself, literally from Munchkinland. You sent a teenage child alone with her dog. And you were like, go find the wizard and hope a witch doesn't kill you in the meantime.
I know. She's had to go through fireballs and flying monkeys and all
Glenda
kinds
needs,
of...
like,
Glenda,
she needs somebody called on her.
Yeah. I didn't mean to kill her. Really, I didn't. It's just he was on fire.
Oh, that's a good Dorothy.
That was my Dorothy.
That was good.
Can't hold a candle to you, but that's my Dorothy.
That was good. I liked it a lot.
Toto, I've got a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
This awful quote.
Oh my God.
That follows me
you everywhere.
So if you're not from Kansas City, this is what you need to know. If you're from KC and leave, everywhere you go, everyone thinks.
Everywhere.
It doesn't matter if you're from Kansas City, Missouri, Kansas City, Kansas. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't
they
matter.
hear the word Kansas and
Kansas
they think
City, and it's this.
it's Dorothy.
Yep.
It is Dorothy. And
I don't think you're in Kansas anymore. Yes. Which I don't hate it, but also I'm sure you've heard it a lot more.
And sometimes it's not meant in a friendly way. Like,
Oh, yeah. Sometimes they do try to sting you with it.
like I remember I had just graduated college in New York City. And I was interviewing at this jewelry company. She said that quote.
Uh-huh.
It's like, so where did you grow up? And she's like, oh, just like Dorothy. And
Uh-huh.
I was like, you bitch.
Exactly.
I guess I'm not going to be selling any brooches for you, cunt.
Take that diamond necklace and shove it.
Exactly. All right, here we go. You didn't get to do the witch yet, so I'm going to let you do the witch. You do this last
Ooh,
one.
Okay.
And now, my beauties, something with poison in it. With poison in it, but attractive to the eye and soothing to the smell. Poppies. Poppies. Poppies will put them to sleep. Sleep.
Oh my gosh.
So basically, Dorothy was on heroin.
She kind of was. Yeah. Yeah, she was on heroin. Fun thing, actually at Worlds of Fun Haunt this season,
Yeah.
I'm filling in for the Wicked Witch
Oh.
on 3 of the Thursdays and 3 of the Sundays. So it's kind of a total flip of the coin. I get to be green and be the Wicked Witch of the West. Yeah. And then I think sometimes Wicked Witch of the East. I don't know, but there's 2 of them and they fly up in the air and everything.
Oh my goodness. Wait, when can people see you doing this?
The month of October.
The month of October at Worlds of Fun, which is
Mhm.
Kansas City's premier amusement park.
Absolutely. Haunt is really fun. It's really scary.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I might have to come back just for that.
Exactly.
But doing Dorothy every night, one thing I need to ask you is, how many blue dresses do you have at home?
Great question. I actually currently have 6.
6.
Yep, and I have them all from the very first one to the current one.
So that you've got the 6 in rotation. So there's.
I have 6 and 3 are in rotation.
Do you make them yourselves or costume designer?
Oh
do it?
God, no. Jana Jessie makes all my costumes.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and she's works with the Kansas City Rep, and she does lots of costumes for the Renaissance Festival. So hence my corset.
Wow.
Yeah, she's fabulous,
because Dirty Dorothy, she does serve body.
girl.
She serves
Right?
body.
And that's what I like about a corset is it doesn't matter what I eat. It doesn't matter what I drink. I'm going to be the same size once I lace that thing back up.
I know. Come on, Violet Chachki.
Yes! It's just like bigger tits. And that's also why it's a floofy skirt.
Floofy skirt. So if there's any drag queens out there
Yes.
that want to do Dorothy, what are your tips for putting a Dorothy look together?
Well, you got to stay with the signature, and that's gingham.
Gingham.
So it's your gingham in your shoes. That's what sells a Dorothy.
Sells the Dorothy.
Mm-hmm.
And so you've got the 6 dresses. How many pairs of ruby slippers do you have?
I have probably over 30, and I wear probably 2. And I've just been gifted all of these glorious heels that I literally cannot walk in. But they're so pretty, I keep them. And so I'm not ready to let go of them yet. But I wear 2.
You wear two
pairs.
I get it though, because,
Well, neither one of them are heels. One of them is Doc Martens, and the other one are Uggs that are sparkly red, and so it's funny.
So ruby sparkly Doc Martens.
Uh-huh.
And Uggs.
And ruby sparkly Uggs.
Because the Dirty Dorothy show goes on for quite a few hours, if I remember.
Oh, yeah.
It's like you're on all night.
Man, and in the 90s, I wore heels every single day of the week, and no, my feet are done with that.
Your feet are done.
Uh-huh. Grandma she's a grandma lesbian now.
So, Dorothy, all my listeners are going to want to go see you in person. Where can they catch a Dirty Dorothy show?
Well, the fun thing is now I pop up everywhere. I'm not just at one location anymore. So you can find me at Hamburger Mary's, Kansas City. I do their 5th Fridays. So the next one is September 30th. So next week. I'll be at Missy B's Saturday, October 22nd. All of October, you can see me at Haunt, which is Worlds of Fun, where I'll actually be the Wicked Witch. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. You didn't know that. And then I pop up at Fountain House as well. So keep your eyes anywhere in Kansas City. I'm bound to pop up somewhere.
She is out and about everywhere. Put your hands together for the fabulous Dirty Dorothy.
Thank you. And thank you, Charles. Don't forget to always tune into The Tea with Charles.
Thanks for listening to the Tea with Charles podcast. Support my podcast by becoming a Tea with Charles Patreon or picking up a copy of my latest book, Saints and Sinners in Oklahoma City. Make sure to like and subscribe this podcast and follow me for all the tea on social media at KingCharles0921. See you guys next time.
Ta-ta for now.